This is the Rock and Metal Faith Podcast.
With electric guitars, the heavens shake through every riff, our souls awake. This is rock and metal faith. The thunder roars, his name is praised. Through light and dark, his love will fade. Forever loud, rock and metal faith.
All right, welcome to the Rock and Metal Faith Podcast, where it's all about the rock that makes me sing, Christian rock and metal, from the classics to today. I'm your host, Aaron Hancock, and today we're joined with Chris from London, my co-host. I say today because this is our monthly bonus episode. Usually I'm doing this solo, but I asked him to join us and sit in on this one. So how are you doing, Chris?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing fine, actually. And like I said, normally I do the bonus episode kind of solo. I'll talk about a featured band before we get into the birthdays. We're doing something a little bit different. Not only is Chris joining me for this one, well, we're still kind of talking about an artist, I guess, but we want to focus on a couple specific albums from that artist. Today we're talking about Michael Sweet, the vocalist from Striper, but he has also done a number of solo albums as well as a number of collaborations. But we're going to focus on a couple of solo records. For those who've been following the podcast, we've been going through the Striper records kind of chronologically along with other stuff. Yeah, we've been throwing in a couple of the solo records, and we will throw in more solo records as they fit in the Striper chronologically. And let's see, there's a couple of records I don't have of Michael Sweet's. I don't have Truth, although I did listen to some of that through the services, talked about that on a bonus episode. And I recently had a chance to listen to I Am Not Your Suicide in its entirety. Not bad, actually. You know what? I would kind of compare that to the 1994 record that he put out, the first solo record. I think the first couple of songs on there are pretty good. It kind of tapers off. It gets kind of mediocre after that. There's a couple of ballads on there. And
we're done the episode. We're done. We're over.
No. I know these are short bonus episodes. We're not that short though. And there was actually a really good song on there called Unsuspecting. I might even throw that into our playlist that we have. We have a Rock and Metal Faith playlist. You can look for that on Spotify. That features a bunch of songs that we featured on the program. And actually, that's really good. There's, like I said, the first couple songs, plus a later one called Unsuspecting. I might have to go and buy the downloads. I don't know if the whole album is worth buying. You've heard a couple tracks off of that. Your thoughts on I'm Not Your Suicide?
It's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, I listened to the first 4 tracks before I don't know, I can't find it again. So
that's weird.
Yeah, really weird. I was about to download them too, and then nope. But the first 4 tracks I really enjoyed. I thought they were, and of course his songwriting was wow. Like, what great message. And he continues that with the new album.
Yeah, the other one we're going to talk about too. I want to get into that one as well. Well, and he's got a song on here on I'm Not Your Suicide. He's got a song called Strong, which I was just listening to today. I was listening, the whole thing kind of today. Strong, I think, is a good song. Lyrically, he's always written great lyrics. Even if you're not really a fan of the music he's put out, I think he's probably one of the best lyricists out there.
Oh, totally.
Actually, there's a couple things I don't like about "I'm Not Your Suicide" though. "Coming Home." I don't know if you heard that one. That is a very country type sounding song. It is. It sounds like old
It
country. Okay, not today's
it's
country.
it sounds like the country coming home or Ozzy Osbourne cover.
No, no. Yeah, "Mama Coming Home." It's not "Mama I'm Coming Home." That's for sure. The other thing on here, he's got two versions of a cover song. I don't know why you would do this. He's got two versions of "Heart of Gold."
Hmm.
Uh, and I don't know why would you do two versions of a cover song. you know.
And when I heard it, they both sounded identical.
Well, the second one, it says features Electra Mustaine. I'm wondering if that's any relation. Might be a daughter or a relation to Dave Mustaine. I don't. I don't know.
Yeah,
Dave Must.
like
You know Dave Mustaine. He's the frontman for Megadeth. So I wonder if this is any relation to him. But yeah, I don't know. And I don't have a problem with softer music. We're gonna get into that because the next album we want to talk about is the Master Plan, a brand new album from Michael Sweet. And
wow.
this is not a heavy record, but I think it's
No.
great. You know.
We're going to talk about the master plan now?
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna move on to the
Okay.
Master Plan.
So I listened to the first track, the master plan, and I was a little disenfranchised at first. I listened to half of it, like, oh, boring. It was Michael Sweet. Then I gave it a second listen, and I let it play, and it's not a bad opening song.
You know what it reminds me of? The title track, the first track, Master Plan. It reminds me of a Broadway tune. It's like the opening of a Broadway musical.
Hmm. I can see that.
And I don't say that in a bad way. That might not, this might actually be the weakest song on the record. And I know I've heard feedback from a lot of fans. A lot of people like this record in its entirety. Probably like Master Plan itself. It's hard to say. There's a lot of great songs on this one, right?
Oh,
Right
wow. Yeah.
from Lord to Worship You to Desert Stream. I think that's a great song.
I want to
Which
know why they didn't lead off with Lord, personally. I think that would have been a really good first song.
possibly, yeah. And which was the one on here? There's one on here that sounds like it was definitely Rolling Stones inspired. I think that's Faith. I can't remember
Yeah.
now,
And
but
I think the Believer song, that
yeah.
almost, I'm almost wondering if they're cut, that's the cover from Phil Keaggy's version of the Believer.
No, I don't think so. I think he's
No?
written everything
What?
himself.
Oh, okay. Because it sounds identical. I mean, the words are really good.
Or maybe I'd have to listen to the Phil Keaggy version. Let me just check here. I've got the uh, the CD booklet here. Who wrote all the words? I think Michael Sweet wrote all the words.
Oh, okay. It still sounds pretty cool.
But here's a cool thing: all the guitars, all the vocals are done by Michael Sweet.
I know. Wow.
That includes all the background vocals. So he just layered his vocal track a few times and did all the background vocals.
For a guy who is sick, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Actually, yeah, and that's the other thing too is he was talking about that, and he he's got some work on his throat to do too, and then I think that was um, not in the best of health either. So, well, I wanted to kind of get into a bit of a history about Michael Sweet. So, for those who don't know Michael Sweet, he grew up in the LA area. He started playing in rock bands. His first band actually was his brother's band. After the urging of their mother, she said to Robert Sweet, there, let Michael play in your band when they were like kids. And I think Michael was playing guitar at the time, whatever. They quickly realized that Michael could sing. He started singing. They formed Rock's Regime.
I have a
And
question
yeah,
about his singing. Do
yeah,
we know where he got, like, did he take lessons of, like, his dad, his mom?
yeah. That I don't know. I'd have to look that up again.
Okay.
I'm
Or
sure
I
it's
could
in.
do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it's in his biography called Honestly, which I've got the e version of, and I have read. That doesn't mean I remember everything I have read. That was like a few years back. So, and but yeah, and the other thing is they got saved. I think it was through one of the TV evangelists. Like I think it was Jimmy Swaggart, or by watching his program on TV, they all knelt down and prayed and got saved as a family, which actually made them kind of torn and upset when Striper became popular and the TV evangelists and the conservative Christians didn't like Christian metal and were boycotting and picketing the Striper concerts when it was because of them that they became Christians in the first place. So,
Wow.
and stuff. And he says too that, well, he stepped away from Striper in the early 90s. Striper was starting to kind of lead a secular lifestyle, and he knew the band was kind of leading him away from a holy lifestyle, and stepped away from the band. Came back in about 2003 under the sense that the band was going to walk the walk, and they've done so ever since. I
Yeah.
think they've been stronger ever since. So that's a little bit about Michael Sweet. We're going to run a little long here, but as far as the bonus episodes go, time for birthdays. We are in the month of May. So May 2nd, it was Larry Farkas's birthday. And for those who know him, he played with Vengeance, Deliverance, Die Happy. He also did a stint
Die Happy. Yeah, it's a
with
band
Holy
I haven't
Soldier.
heard in 40,
Well,
50 years.
most of Die Happy was Vengeance. Essentially, they kind of disbanded because they couldn't carry on as Vengeance, and Dale Martinez, the vocalist, wanted to keep Vengeance going, so he carried on without the band, formed a whole new band. But a few years later, the band that was Vengeance decided to reform. They just didn't want to play that thrash stuff anymore. So then they played
Oh, I imagine.
stuff like Die Happy. And so May 6th, we have a album anniversary. I've been doing these album anniversaries, and this was kind of why I decided to talk about a couple albums at the start of this episode. Because May 6th, 2014 was when I'm Not Your Suicide came out. So it kind of ties into our birthdays here. Also on May 14th in 2021, we have another album anniversary from Michael Sweet called Evil and Divine by Sunbomb, which was one of the side projects he did. He was collaborating, I think, with Tracy Guns on this one.
Wow.
So Sunbomb was Michael Sweet and Tracy Guns. Tracy Guns, if you're not sure who he is, was the guitarist, or is the guitarist with LA Guns. And so, like I said, Michael likes to do these collaborations with people. And so that album came out May 14th. May 15th is a birthday for Kevin Whistler, who played drums with Bloodgood from 88 to 91, and then came back for 2011, 2012. Kevin Whistler was born in 1961 on May 15th. May 15th, there was also an album anniversary for Soldiers Under Command. Came out way back in 1985.
The
There's an
good
album
old
anniversary.
days.
Yeah, there's an album anniversary for you. And I tell you, a lot of Striper, you know what? A lot of Striper albums came out in May. Because 2004, in May 18th, they released a live record called 7 Weeks Live. And then another Michael Sweet collaboration. In 2023, May 19th, we have Heart and Sacrifice, which was a Sweet and Lynch record. That That's his collaboration with George Lynch of Dokken fame. So yeah, Michael Sweet and George Lynch got together. They just named the project Sweet and Lynch, and Heart and Sacrifice was the third one. I don't. Anyways, but good stuff. If you're into the kind of guitars that Michael does, the vocals Michael does, he works well with George Lynch. Some very good stuff coming out from that project. All right,
Yeah.
May 20th, we have Kevin Young of Disciple celebrating a
Ooh.
birthday. There is a screamer for you, I tell you.
Oh yeah, he's awesome. He's so talented. And when we cover Disciple, you guys are gonna hear him.
Yes? Yeah. Does he still scream the way he used to? And how does he keep his voice in shape? I tell you.
It's not doing the drugs, the you know.
All right, something a little lighter. May 29th, we have Mark David Lee, who is the guitarist and founding member for Third Day. And we haven't talked too much about Third Day, but not a bad band. I like some of the stuff that they've put out. Mark David Lee was born 1973. And then we're back onto the heavy stuff. May 30th, we have Don Clark, who is the rhythm guitarist and founding member for Demon Hunter. And Don Clark was born 1975. So there you go. Have you heard any Demon Hunter?
Demon Hunter. Oh, that I tried listening to it for like 15 seconds, and that was it. No, 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 no. I thought Tourniquet was bad. I mean, the guys are talented. Don't get me wrong. That's my limit. No, no,
I
not
don't
going near.
mind. It's taken a little bit to get into.
Yes, yes.
Uh, but and like I said, that one post I did buy one of their albums at the secondhand shop there, Extremist. That's some heavy stuff. I tell you, wow.
Oh yeah. That'll be an episode where all I'll be doing is.
All right, where are we going? So that's about it for birthdays. That's about it for this bonus episode. Thanks for joining us. Once again, like, subscribe. Don't miss an episode.
I wanted to talk about a news article, a news
Oh, okay.
thing
If you want. All right.
before we really quickly. Yes.
Okay.
So for those who don't know, the Newsboys, some of you, our listeners, will know who they are. They're Michael Tate has the whole allegations we've been following, well, I have, of sexual assault worldwide. So he's the company that owns New Boys, not the label, but the management team have come along and sued everybody they can think of. It's a 180-page lawsuit. I watched a live lawyer online here explain all of it like in 30 minutes, and it's not good. Like they're worried about the image of the Newsboys,
Yeah.
right? Like
I was
they're
following.
willing to let Michael go, but they want to keep, the other. I mean, Toby Mac has reportedly gotten Michael to come and do a project with him, and Toby, out of his own pocket, is getting counseling for him and detox. So it sounds like he's in
I think
addictions as well. So
All
we
right.
just need to pray for Michael.